So, talking about speed and flat picking, just real quickly, there's an exercise that I use, and speed is not a goal. Speed is an end product of having done the other things right, and speed will happen. You can't. I don't think to aim for speed is a very good goal in any kind of music for for whatever that might be. Anything we use in music, any of the tools we use, whether it's the tempos or the dynamics or instrumentation or any elements that we use, the primary purpose is not to draw people's attention to those elements, but draw people to the meaning of the song that we're performing or singing, or to make meaning out of the music that we're doing. So if speed helps do that, great. Then go for it. It can be very compelling with a really fast solo that, compared with something that's slow and contrasting and those kinds of things. But our primary goal, to me anyway, in all facets of music, through classical, jazz, pop, bluegrass, whatever it is to express some intention, some meaning, we've given some thought to what it is we want to say with our music. But in terms of developing, I wouldn't call this speed, I call it agility, to be agile with the right hand, to develop that technique that we're talking about with cross picking. I have an exercise that I use. I do start very fast. I set my metronome at 184 beats per minute. If you don't understand that, beats per minute and stuff, there's a lot of YouTube stuff out there that can help explain that. But quarter notes are 184, so eighth notes are twice that fast. And then I do triplets and 16th notes. I'll do a slow example, and I do 184, 172, then I back it off 12 beats to 160, then 150, 144, 38, 32, 26, and 20. You could go slower than that too. And here's the exercise I do at those speeds. It's just the way I do it. And 120 is kind of a benchmark speed, I think, in a lot of this kind of playing, and at least, in my way of thinking, if there is such a thing. But when you set out to play a song, I don't think, okay, we're going to do this at 136. So everybody get your metronomes out, get your time set. You do it where it feels right, where there's a groove, and you can handle it. If 136 is too fast to play it, then don't just play sloppy. Play clean at a speed that's manageable. But here's a way to develop some agility in the right hand. And I use every string. I start at 184. I'll give you an example of the exercise that I do at all those tempos. I'll give you example of a couple of strings on it. So I start with quarter notes, and I'm going for feel of this pick, just letting the pick work the string. So say about, I can't use a metronome because it's in there, it's in the phony thingy. New tech, old man. Here we go. So, and I go alternate picking the whole time. 8 beats, then I double it to eighth notes. Triplets, sixteenth. Start there. Eighths. Quarters. Notice up and down the whole time. Now, a couple of things. It's easier with a metronome because it keeps you honest, keeps you steady. But the other thing is the triplets. So a triplet is down, down, followed by an up, down, up. So you may have to practice triplet, triplet, like the old beginning band exercises, orchestra. And so on. I want to get every note in there, and so I want to take a speed, and I'll go through all the strings that way, through the B, at whatever speed, eighth note, 8 beats, triplets, 16th, triplet, eighth, quarters, and so on, all the way down through all the strings. Move my metronome to 1/7. That 184 is brutally difficult, not brutally, it's challenging to be clean. But I find when I take a few days off, come back, that first day back, it's a little raggedy. The second day that I hit it, a little cleaner. And it's different day to day, just especially when you're 63. But I'm just trying to find ways to and mind you, I'm trying to sort of accelerate the process of getting this style of music put together because, when I was a kid playing, 5 years was a long time, but I didn't think about it. I just kept playing, dumb songs or whatever. And I didn't think about how long it took to learn them. So when I learned, how to do some Travis picking, I don't remember how much time I sat there trying to develop thumb independence. And how long I worked on those little figures like that, And I don't do a lot of that stuff now, and I need to get back and do more. All that. I didn't think about how much time I spent in those days. I sat in my room and practiced a lot and sang a lot of songs. And it takes a lot of practice. I spend a couple hours on average every day. Some days I'll spend 3 or 4 hours with the guitar just working on little things here and there. But this is kind of a foundational thing. As my present flat pick teacher, Eric Lambert, has said, he said, you've done the heavy lifting, well, so far. And so it's time to move on learning tunes. But I want to emphasize that this is a foundational thing. If you're thinking about it, it's because I'm trying to kind of do this process of something that people have done for 30 years. I'm trying to get into it as quickly as possible, trying to develop that feel. So these are some exercises that I use to do that. And boy, if I was a young man starting out, I'd probably spend a little more time with these things rather than just finding really cool songs and settling for something less than what I was able to do. So anyway, that's one thing you can do. I call it reverse speed exercise on the right hand. So anyway, good luck. Thanks.